So growing up, we had a ton of parties. Um, we always had them every year. And one of the two things that we always cooked was either roasting a whole hog or we did a hobo dinner. And we love our hobo dinners. And yesterday I decided to make one. And when I was making it, I got to thinking about if I'd be able to can it. Um, I wanted to do a canned hobo dinner to save for the winter, single serving amounts. So first thing I did is I went on YouTube to look to see if they had anything on anybody canning hobo dinners, and they didn't. And the next thing is what they consider a hobo dinner is not a hobo dinner. They're doing tinfoil packs that are basically tinfoil taters that they've added a couple extra things to. A hobo dinner from when I was young until now is we did it in God, to start off with, way back in the day, it was either the galvanized trash cans, or if you had a old Cane's potato chip can, because you could get the chips in a can, we'd use that. And then as we got more sophisticated in it, we would take half barrels, keg barrels, and we would cut the top out of it, make a lid and handles, and we'd do our hobo dinner in that. And the way we always did our hobo dinners was your corn went in first, then your potatoes, and then your carrots. And then you'd pour about an inch of beer in the bottom. And that part would cook for a couple hours, up to 3 hours, depending on how big a keg and that you're using. Then once they got to a certain doneness, then we would add our cabbage, onions, your meat, and then cover it back up and cook it till it was done. And then once your meat was done and you knew everything was done. So what I'm going to try and do is I am going to do it two ways. I'm going to do it off of a raw pack. I got my vegetables and my meat, and I got a little beer that I saved from yesterday. And I'm going to do 2 jars that way, and then I'm going to take leftovers from what I made yesterday, because I always make way too much. And I'm going to pack 2 more jars, and I'm going to do them that way. And I'm going to see what turns out better. I hope this way with the raw vegetable pack will work out really good. So what we need to start off with is we're going to do our corn. We're going to put raw potatoes in each one. I always use red potatoes. One thing is I like the skins on them. I like it better if the skins are a little more on the thinner side. Let's see, let's get enough for each one. And then our carrots. Into each one. Some onions. Might already be putting too much in them. Chunk of cabbage. Probably been better if I'd have put the meat in first. Now this will cook down some as it softens up, so I can stuff it in, it ain't gonna hurt. That one, and then this one. I ain't gonna get the carrot and onion in there. And from there I'm gonna add a little beer in it. Now you don't need a lot. It's just because you're steaming it. And when a lot of people will see this recipe, they're going to probably be screaming, that's a boiled dinner. Well, it's not a boiled dinner because I'm not boiling it. Everything's getting steamed. There's a big difference. From here, I will get the lids ready, put them on, get them in the cooker, and we'll do the 2 jars that is off of what I've already cooked. These other 2 jars, the stuff's already been cooked. It's going to be a lot easier to pack the jars because it's all soft. And I don't need to add beer to it because it's already been cooked and it's already loaded with liquid. So as it cans, it should produce its own. Let's add them. We can add our cabbage. Carrots. Onions and potatoes. And it ended up being about 1 medium potato each. See, I could actually put a lot more in it that way, but that's where I'm going to find out which way comes out best on how I'll do it. If this way comes out best, then I'll pack more into it. But that's a pretty good plate full in itself. Unless you're a big boy like me, you could probably eat 2 of these. So let's get our water going in our pressure canner and get the leads on these and see how it goes. So since I'm starting off with cold jars and cold contents, I'm going to put the jars in the canner, and the water in the canner is going to be cold. And then I will turn on the burner to bring it up to temperature so it doesn't shock my jars and break them. That way it brings everything up slowly together. And then once it gets up to a certain temperature, starts steaming good and I know my jars ain't broke, then I will put my lid on and crank it up. So I let the water simmer for a little bit with the jars in it to bring everything up to temperature. Now that the jars are hot and I'm pretty confident they're not going to break, I can put the lid on. And I'll crank the heat up. I'll let it go until I get a good steam rolling out of it. I'll put the weight on it and I will let it go for 90 minutes at 10 psi. Okay, so let's see how we ended up turning out. Now watch it, she's hot. That's one. Here's the last one. Not too bad. I'm going to say the 2 center ones are the 2 that are, I don't know. They're going to be the ones that I canned from cold, from raw pack. And I only added just a tiny bit of beer in it. And the other 2, the 2 outside ones, are the ones that I did that had already been cooked. These ones here in the center actually turned out really good. A lot better than I figured they would. Everything's held together really nice. Them two are from Raw. And I think they would turn out just fine even without a bunch of liquid in it. Because when you do meat don't have but a tiny bit of liquid in it when it's done. Well, I will let them set for about 2 weeks and then we'll do a taste test. And I'll bring up a short for the taste test. If you like what you see with the video on that, like it, share it. And if you like my videos, go ahead and subscribe. It helps me out. Thank y'all and see you later.